The Toms River East High School Raider football team has been slowly growing up. They're now in their third year of football under head coach George Jeck, and tonight they've really got to come of age. Probably the biggest game in the school's history is riding on the line as the Raiders are here at Brick Township High School to take on the #1 rated team in the state of New Jersey, Warren Wolf's always powerful Green Dragons of Brick Township High School. Hi everyone, I'm Ken Turp. With me, Bob Strangia, the former coach of the powerful Buccaneers of Red Bank High School. We're going to bring you all the action of tonight's exciting game as part of our Game of the Week doubleheader here on Channel 8 this weekend. And as we get ready for this game, Bob's going to tell you in just a moment a little bit about what to watch for from the Brick Green Dragons. I said they're rated #1. The North Star Ledger, the North Jersey paper with all the influence, says that the Green Dragons are the best team in the state of New Jersey. And of course, George Jeck is a homecoming tonight. There's a sign right to my left here on the Raiders sideline that says, "Welcome back, Coach Jeck and the Raiders." George coached here for many, many years as assistant coach. He was the offensive coordinator for Warren Wolf. The first time he went against Warren was over at Toms River East High School last year. The Raiders lost that ball game, and now they're going to try to even up the series at 1-1. And tonight is the first time George Jeck will be coaching on the visiting side of the field here at Brick Township High School field, which started back in 1958 when Warren Wolf opened the doors to Brick Township football. And what a great career of Brick football it's been. Bob, what can we watch for from the usual green and white machine of the Dragons?
Well, Kenny, when we talk about Brick Township, we have to begin, of course, with the very famous coach Warren Wolf. Warren has probably more success than any other coach in the history of Shaw football. I talked to Warren during the week and I asked him, I said, "Warren, what's the secret? What keeps Brick winning?" And it was only one thing Warren would talk about: great team effort. He keeps talking about his kids and he talks about them in a group. He doesn't put any kid above anybody else. None of these boys head and shoulders above anybody. He talks about them as spokes on a wheel. He says all together the wheel goes round and Brick football keeps going round and keeps on winning. Of course, though, when you talk to other coaches in the Shore and you talk about Brick football, two other terms come up. One is organization, a great organization here at Brick, the great town support, the organization from their Pop Warner program all the way up through their freshman and sophomore and JV programs. And the other term that has to come up is execution. Nobody in the Shore executes in football like Brick Township does. Day in and day out, they execute better than any other high school football team in the Shore. Now, we'll see a new look tonight. You'll see a new Brick offense, which will not be as conservative as it has been in the past. It'll have a lot of new looks in it. And you'll see a new Brick defense, and that largely is due to a man who was a nemesis of Brick. Ron Signorino has joined the Brick coaching staff. You have on that field, on that Brick sideline, 40, 50 years of coaching experience and two of the finest coaches in the Shore. I've had the privilege of coaching against both of them, and I can't think of two other opponents who put that much talent together in one spot at one time. Siggy has brought Brick a new four-man front defense. You'll see a lot of blitzing, a lot of gaming out of them, and a lot more gambling on defense. Ken, I guess that's about it. We're going to see an exciting game tonight, and I'm going to turn it back to you.
Okay, Bob. So, of course, Pete Panuska is the all-state running back for the Green Dragons. He wears number 21, and, of course, he is a great athlete who also plays safety on defense, and he's all over the field making tackles, the fastest player on the field in tonight's ball game. As far as the scores, both teams coming in undefeated 3-0. Toms River East beat Hamilton East 28-10. They defeated Lakewood 12-9, and they beat Toms River North in our Game of the Week last week on Channel 8 27-6. And Brick defeated North Bergen, a perennial North Jersey power, 21-6 in their opener. That was on the road. Then they beat Matawan in their home debut this year 33-0. And last week they beat Southern Regional 14-6. You heard, of course, Ronnie Emmert Field on a game last night against Toms River South, and Southern outplayed Brick in that game. They felt they should have won the ball game. Whatever, it was a hard-hitting game, and how Brick comes out of that game psychologically, physically, into tonight's big game is a question mark. I liken this game tonight from the Brick point of view a lot like the Texas-Arkansas game in college football today. Texas coming out of that big game with Oklahoma, then playing another big rival in Arkansas back-to-back. Same way with Brick, they had to go against Southern last week, and now the other big Class A South opponent, Toms River East, tonight in back-to-back games. Pat Slevin was very impressive last week. He was our player of the game for Toms River East. He's a running back you should watch. He had a burst of speed through that line on a 77-yard run last week that was really amazing, and he's going to be a really tough back for the Brick defense to stop. And, of course, they have a young quarterback in Joe Scott, but he's come a long way And he's a kid that I think is going to be an outstanding quarterback before he is done at Toms River East High School. George Jeck feels he can beat Brick. He's confident that his team can do it. He feels this year's squad is a lot more well-rounded and balanced and a lot more mentally prepared to take on a team like the Brick Green Dragons than they were last year at this time when they lost at home to Brick. So that's about it. We got a beautiful night for football. It's a nice, clear, cool night. And we should have not only a great crowd from Toms River East and Brick, but we should have a lot of fans from around Ocean County and the area coming in tonight to see this big ball game between these two powers in Class A South play. And Bob, I guess you can't really say, well, if East contains Panuska, they'll win the ball game, because last week Southern did a good job of containing Panuska, but yet they didn't win the ball game. And what I'm trying to say is you can't afford to make mistakes on your part, or you're not going to beat a Brick Township.
When you play against the Brick Township, you know the one thing they're not going to do is make the mistake. And the second thing they're going to do is capitalize on any mistakes you make. Whenever you play a team coached by Warren Wolf, it's never built around one man. That's just not Warren's style of football. Warren's teams execute, and they're built around several people, and they're great because they can do many things well.
Okay, on paper, this is probably our best matchup of the year on clear cable. I know Ray Wilson, our other color commentator, is sorry he couldn't see this game. He's got some coaching duties up at Ryder College. He's assistant basketball coach. They open the basketball practice this weekend, and Ray is really sorry he's going to miss a game like tonight's. So we're out ready to go. So we'll have the introductions of players coming up now. Angia, the first quarter coming your way by New Jersey National Bank, along with the other participating sponsors, Carolina Furniture, Service Star Hardware, and Gem Furniture. Toms River East is the first team on the field tonight, and there you see the Raiders squad in front of us. We are broadcasting tonight from the Toms River East stands, so we hope it doesn't rain. We do have a clear night right now. If it rains, we're going to get wet, and then if the wind comes up, we're going to lose all our notes. We are working at the top row of the East bleachers, right on the 50-yard line. Brick is yet to make their appearance. East in the traveling gray shirts with the black pants, black numerals, silver helmets. Bob, while we got a chance, let's run down the starting lineup for Toms River East on offense. Why don't you run down the offensive line, and I'll give the backfield.
Okay, Ken, starting for Toms River East tonight at split end will be Bob Valente. At left tackle will be Terry Morris. At left guard will be Tim Martin. At center will be Chris Schultz. At right guard will be Chuck Seigler. At right tackle will be Jim Verderosa. And at tight end will be Jay McKelvey.
And the backfield, quarterback Joe Scott, he'll wear number 8. The fullback will be Chris Schiavo, number 47. Vinnie Gearity, number 24. At halfback, Sal Tirella will be the wingback, number 21 for the Raiders. Looking at the other side of the coin, the Raider defense, Jay McKelvey will be the left end, number 87. Jim Verderosa, number 77, the left tackle. Chuck Seigler, number 66, the right tackle. And Chris Schultz, the right end, number 56. The linebackers, Bob, left to right.
All right. Number 55, Tim Donahue, will be one outside linebacker. John Sherman and Chris Schiavo will be the inside linebackers, and Bob Chenier will be the outside linebacker.
Sal Chiarella will be the left corner for the Raiders on defense, 21. Vinnie Gearity, 24, the right corner. And Joe Scott, the quarterback, will be the safety, number 8. There you see the Green Dragons being introduced to the home crowd across the way as they come out one by one in their familiar green jerseys, white numerals, white pants, and green and white helmets. Both of the coaches are very uptight for tonight's game. Warren Wolf, he knows how important this game is for the Class A South Championship. Jeck, welcome back, George, the sign says, as he comes back to Brick Township after so many years as an assistant coach. Let's give the Brick starters. At center tonight will be Chris Hendrickson, a 6'2", 205-pound senior, number 55. The right guard will be Dave Madero, 6'1", 185, a senior, number 74.
Angeles Ram.
Tom Johnson, a 6'1", 195-pound junior, number 71 for the Dragons. And the right end will be Tom Judge, 84. He goes 6'2", 195. He's a senior. On the left side of the line, Brian Blair, 5'1", 165 senior, number 69, is the left guard. Tim Devitt, only a sophomore, a little unusual for Brick to have a sophomore starting. He's the left tackle, number 68, 5'10", 205. And Jim Schultz, also a basketball player for Brick, 6'4", 190 senior, wears number 9 as the left end. His brother TJ was the quarterback of the Dragons a couple of years ago. The offensive backfield for Brick. Jim Ryerson's the quarterback. Number 2, 6 foot 160, a senior. The running backs, everybody's heard about Pete Panuska, 6 foot 165 senior. He'll wear 21 and play halfback. Tim Jones is a fullback, number 36, 6 foot 180 senior. And Nick DePalma is the wingback, 5'8", 180, a senior, number 34. Bob, how about the defensive unit for the Brick Green Dragons?
All right, on defense, Ken. Up front, we'll have Tom Judge at left end. At left tackle, Bill Vermeil. At right tackle, Chris Hendrickson. And at right end, Gus Zamitis. At the linebackers, the right linebacker will be Franchcini. In the center, Ray Brothers and Tim Jones. At the left outside linebacker will be Nick DePalma. And the deep defensive backs at the left corner will be Don Meyer. At the deep safety will be Pete Panuska, where he made All-State at that position. And at the other safety will be Dave Darcy.
Okay, the captains are at the center of the field for the coin flip. And who are the officials, Bob? You want to get ready to run them down?
The head official will be Gary Penta, and the rest of the officials will be giving you those shortly.
All right. There's a shot of Ron Signorino wearing the green and white. He's got the green jacket there. He's got his back to the camera right now. He is in, of course, the Brick coaching staff now after so many years as a nemesis to Warren Wolf, as big rivals at times over South and Brick, and now Ron over in the Brick side of the field getting a chance to see what it's like to work with Warren Wolf, and he'll be going against one of his old assistant coaches. Pete Bush is on the opposite side of the field, former coach with Ron at Toms River South. Pete is one of the coaches for Toms River East. They had their freshman coaches here tonight. George wanted his full staff for tonight's game. So apparently nobody's out scouting tonight, at least not from the active coaching staff. There you see George Jeck standing up with a hat on in the center of his huddle. He takes his hat off and he's addressing his squad. Good shot at George Jeck right there, along with Mike Conlon, his assistant, standing on the left side of the camera. A little prayer there as he sends his team out. He says, let's go. You can hear him all the way up here. So we're about ready for tonight's really big game. Both of these teams undefeated, and the winner of this game will be in the driver's seat for the Class A South Championship, which Jackson won last year.
It's a big game for East, Kenny. George Jeck has brought this team a long way. He suffered through growing pains in its infancy, but now he feels the team's arrived, and he's ready to give Brick a real battle tonight.
Nice, comfortable, cool evening here at Brick Township High School. And the Raiders are going to drop back into receiving formation. They'll go left to right. There you see the kickoff team. Pete Panuska, number 21, will tee it up. He was first team All-State last year as a junior. He does just about everything for Brick. Some people say he even drives the team bus back to the locker room. He will do all kicking, as far as the kicking up, the punting, the place kicking. He also is the number 1 running back, and he's the key tackler on defense in that secondary at the safety position. Deep for Toms River East, Vinnie Gearity, number 24, is to the near side. Here's the kickoff by Panuska to Gearity at the 10, the 15, the 20,
good wedge.
the 25, and he goes down around the 26-yard line, and Toms River East will put it in play right there. Number 14 on the stop for the special teams for Brick, and that would be Tony Francischetti. Here come the Raiders. First play from scrimmage. They got a slot to near side, I formation. Scott's the quarterback. Hands off to the tailback, and he gets a good hole and a good strong run. As Pat Slevin, our player of the game last week, number 28, gets the first call for the Raiders. There you see big Verderosa, number 77, with his back to the camera in the East huddle.
Interesting note there, Kenny. The Raiders came out with twin receivers to the right side, and Brick lined up. It looked like they were going to play a man for man. It's a very dangerous thing to do when you have twin receivers out there. Let's see what happens.
Slevin got 8 yards, 2nd and 2. The Raiders send a flanker to the far side. Man motion to the near side. I think I set up a wing back on the near side. And it's the halfback Slevin looking for the first down, and I believe he's got it. Number 84, Tom Judge, the left end, in on a stop for the Dragons. Well, we're going to have a measurement here for the first down.
While they're measuring, Kenny, it's interesting to talk about something here. Teams get up for a club like Brick. Every week, somebody comes in to play Brick, and every week somebody wants to beat Brick. It's tough for the Brick kids to get up week after week after week.
There it is, first down for the Raiders. Joe Scott, number 8, a junior quarterback. Gearity and Schiavo are the senior running backs. Chiarella, senior wingback, number 21. Chiarella comes to the near side as the wing. Split backfield. Ends are tight on the right side and a split end to the left side. And not much of a hole at all for Slevin. He is stacked up and pushed back. Panuska, 21, came up from his safety position on the bottom of the tackle. Is number 36 for the Dragons, and that is Tim Jones. He is the left inside linebacker. Gain of about 1, 2nd and 9. Center is Schultz, Chris Schultz for the Raiders, number 56. Seigler and Martin the guards, Morris and Verderosa the tackles. Jay McKelvey's the tight end, number 87 on the right side. Slot formation to the far side. Scott the throw. To the left side, throw overthrown. Covering on a play, J. Francis Shetty, number 49, the cornerback.
Ken, we had talked earlier in the game, I said when they put those twin receivers out there, that Brick was covering them man for man. Those receivers were open that time, a better thrown ball. You can see, watch the wide receiver on the top of your screen. And they're covered out there man to man. You see he's got a couple of steps on him. A better throw and pass would have been completed.
3rd and 9 for Toms River East. And the Raiders put Adam Glanzman in there with a play, relieving McKelvey at tight end. Adam Glanzman, the alternating with McKelvey at tight end. He's in there near right side. Fullback on the call, Schiavo. Schiavo picks up a couple of yards, going to be short of the first down. Number 49, Jeff Franchcini on bottom of the tackle, the right side linebacker for the Dragons. Punting situation for Toms River East, 4th and 5.
You can see the effect Ron Signorino's had with the Brick defense. They changed their look a little bit that time and confused the East block assignments.
Dropping back for Brick, Pete Panuska, the golden bullet as he's referred to. Verderosa, high punt. And they're going to let that one bounce, and the Raiders will down it. Number 34 on the coverage, Chevrier.
Cut to 23.
1st and 10 Brick, they'll take over on the 23-yard line. Quarterback is Jim Ryerson, number 2. Tim Jones, 36, is the fullback. Panuska's number 21. They send the wing back to DePalma in motion. Now they stop him on the left side. And stacked up in the backfield is Tim Jones taking a loss on a play. Number 66, Chuck Seigler, shot in there from right tackle. And a big play, shoves the Dragons back, loss of 4.
Kenny, when you see a blitz like that or you see a man come through that clean, you can't help thinking that George Jeck remembers something from his coaching days here at Brick, because that man read the switch in a formation and he just came.
I formation, Panuska the tailback. The pitch to Panuska, his first carry of the ball game, coming to the near side and knocked down. Good pursuit by Chris Schiavo, 47. And 24 was in there on the stop, Vinnie Gearity, along with 8, Joe Scott. But credit Schiavo for his pursuit to slow Panuska down. got back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10 for the Dragons. They line up in the I once again. Panuska the tailback, Jones the fullback. Wing back, in motion. Panuska takes the pitch.
He's got room.
And Panuska, very quick off that ball, picks up a very sizable gain for the Dragons.
Panuska got a couple of nice blocks on the outside that time. Ken was able to turn the corner.
Got the first down. Chris Schultz made the stop, number 56. Ball's to the 34-yard line of Brick. Again, Panuska straight ahead. Picks up a couple of yards right up the middle. Again, Seigler on a stop, number 66 for the Raiders. Gain of about 3, 2nd and 7 for the Dragons. Remember, Panuska is the fastest player on that football field. Flag on the play as they pitch back to Panuska. Encroachment, Toms River East. 5-yard penalty against the Raiders.
When DePalma went in motion there, somebody on East got a little edgy and jumped off.
Here come the Dragons, 2nd and 2. Ryerson calls out the play, sends the wing back in motion, pitch to Panuska. Panuska turns on his speed, but he does turn the corner, and he picks up the first down. And there, Bob, you see that speed of Panuska.
Oh, Ken, I can't believe that. Great acceleration. He came out when he saw the sideline. He just come up with a great burst of speed. We had a tremendous block in there, though, that made that play. A great block by Tim Jones, the fullback from Brick.
Gonna have a replay, I believe. Here it is.
Watch this as they come out of the huddle. Watch the great block on the Raider end.
Watch the acceleration. When he
and now watch Panuska when he plants that outside leg and turns it upfield. Well, he's got great acceleration.
Back to live action in the East territory at the 47-yard line. Ryerson can't avoid the pressure, throws on a run, almost picked off. Bob Chevrier, the linebacker, was blitzing. He had Ryerson wrapped up, and that ball was almost picked off by Mark Yatesy. 2nd and 10 for the Dragons at the Toms River East 48-yard line.
New wrinkle in the Brick offense there, faking and rolling the quarterback out. They faked Panuska, used him as a decoy that time. But there was excellent pressure by the Raider defense.
Mike Lewis, number 88, is the split end to the far side. Back in motion, DePalma. Ryerson, draw play. And there goes Panuska. And he's got another first down for Brick on the draw. He could have gone all the way. He lost his balance as he cut back inside, Bob. Number 24, Vinnie Gearity on the stop for the Raiders.
A perfectly executed draw play. Quarterback dropped back. Panuska faked like he was going to block, set up, took the ball, read his blocks nicely, and got a nice first down.
Brick at the Toms River East, 36-yard line. DePalma in motion. Hand off to the fullback, fumble.
East ball.
And Mark Yatesy comes up with it, number 7. There's Mark Yatesy. He got the football. The outside linebacker on the right side, Mark Yatesy, fell on the football for Toms River East.
Brick tried to execute an option there, Ken, and the ball was fumbled on a handoff, and East pounced on it. A very opportunist move by Toms River East Raiders.
So East takes over on their own 35-yard line. Clock showing 5:23 left in the first quarter. No score here at Brick Township High School. Slot formation to the far side. Long count by Scott. Draw. Slevin.
He's got room, Kenny.
Slevin's got room. Slevin, first down.
First down.
As Slevin hits across the 45-yard line to the Toms River East 46. Well executed draw play by quarterback Joe Scott.
Kenny, this is going to be a thriller. We got two football teams who came to play tonight.
And Slevin is that. Here's the replay. Watch the execution on this play.
Now watch him read the outside. Here it is. He makes the cut, up inside the defensive end. An excellent second effort gets him a first down.
And Slevin ran over a couple of green shirts to pick up some extra yards. You're going to measure this, but from here, it looks like he's got the first down. We are almost sitting on the yard marker, right between the 45 and the 50. And he's got it easily. First down, Raiders. Bob, last week, Slevin showed great acceleration. The Raiders were bottled up at their own 3-yard line, and he just broke out of one, shot through the line of scrimmage, and was off to the races. He was caught from behind about the 8-yard line, but really a brilliant run last week, and he's like Panuska. He can go from anywhere on that football field. That's Slevin.
He impressed me there.
It's just cluttered with confetti by the East fans after that touchdown. And this is the kickoff to start the second quarter of play. Verderosa, high kick. Panuska. And good defense by the Raiders. They stopped Panuska at about the 34-yard line. Yajacaj, who made that two-point conversion pass, also on a stop on the special teams for Toms River East. So Brick is behind here early in the game. Let me tell you, the first quarter came your way tonight by New Jersey National Bank, along with Carolina Furniture, Service Store Hardware, and Gem Furniture. And bringing you the second quarter tonight, New Jersey National Bank, along with Richards Motors South, House of Paneling, and Carolina Furniture. Now the official's going to hold things up here once again. Panuska just coming on the field right now. That was an official's timeout. That was a beautiful drive by the Raiders. Well engineered by the quarterback, Joe Scott. Good crisp blocking and excellent running by the Raiders. Wing back to the right side. Panuska.
It's a fake. Kenny's got
Ryerson coming to the near side. And run out of bounds by Verderosa and Chevrier. That was a beautiful fake. I followed Panuska, Bob.
Oh, it was a beautiful fake.
Some of the fans here even thought that Panuska had the ball. Ryerson, excellent fake for the Dragons.
Yeah, John Morrow, number 81, was open deep on that off the excellent fake, but wasn't able to see him because he was under a lot of pressure.
He got 7 on a carry, 2nd and 3. Panuska's going to take a loss. Number 87, McKelvey, the left end, on a stop. Jay McKelvey.
Kenny, this Raider team is really fired up, and they owe it to Coach Jeck, and is deciding to go for that 1 yard. That gave them a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence, and they took the ball into the end zone when they got that first down.
Called a 4-yard loss, 3rd and 7 coming up for the Dragons. Panuska is a marked man every time he goes out to play football. Wing back to the right side. Ryerson to Panuska. Panuska gets a hole. Panuska first down. Panuska almost broke it. Gearity saved the touchdown. Almost broke it. One man to beat. He couldn't do it.
I thought he was gone, Kenny. He broke out in here in the open. He made a great cut back against the grain.
Here's the replay. Watch Panuska on this one.
It's just a simple power play off the right side. You can see Panuska cuts up into the hole. He breaks one tackle, breaks a second tackle, turns on the burners, and last man, Gearity brought him down, saved a touchdown.
The right cornerback, Vinnie Gearity, with a saving tackle for Toms River East.
Incidentally, it was a nice tackle by Gearity in the open field on somebody with Panuska's ability.
Every time Panuska gets his hands on the ball, you got to hold your breath. Raiders at East Territory to 47. Panuska once again, and Panuska's got another hole. Panuska, another first down for the Dragons. He's down to the 30-yard line.
He picked up about 17 yards. That time, instead of power, they faked it back before him, and Panuska broke it outside.
You are watching the premier back in the state, Pete Panuska, in action. Here's the replay.
Watch it here. It's a fake first, and Panuska, the second back, gets the ball, breaks it outside, picks his daylight.
He's losing his shirt, but it doesn't really matter.
Panuska once again. This time he is stacked up. Verderosa made a hit on Panuska.
Nice play by Verderosa.
And that time, no gain on a play. Half of Panuska's shirt is hanging down. It's been ripped, trailing behind him.
We may see a pattern developing here in a Brick offense, Ken. They ran Panuska on a power play, then they came back faking to another back first, then they came right back to the same power play with Panuska.
He's having a trip on that
it.
shirt hanging down here, Bob. It's around his ankles.
Here's the fake. He's going to throw to Panuska.
And the heat is on. They got him.
Ken, look at Panuska standing all alone on the other side of the field. They
Seigler and Chevrier team up to stack up Ryerson for a loss.
They faked to Panuska that time, Ken. He got through the line clean. Had the ball gotten open, watch the replay here. Panuska fakes as the lead blocker, breaks through, turns out into the left flat. Only the quarterback can't see him. He's under great pressure, but Panuska was standing out there all alone.
Chevrier, the first one there, caught him from behind. That pushes the ball back to the 36-yard line. 3rd down and 16 for Brick. Now Judge shifts to the right side.
Put Panuska into the wingback this time, Kenny. They're going to use him as a receiver. There he is. They got him out there.
And Ryerson doesn't see him. And Ryerson runs it out and chased out of bounds. Panuska was wide open as the man in motion, but Ryerson didn't get the ball to him.
That time, Kenny, they just lined Panuska up as a wingback, then put him in motion, and nobody picked him up. He was open out there. I think Ryerson saw him, but Panuska didn't look back for the ball quick enough. So Ryerson had to keep it and run with it.
Ball's at the 30-yard line.
That's close to the first down, Kenny. That is a first down.
No, it's not. They got to go. They got to go down to the 21, Bob.
I can't see the down marker. It's being blocked by the arrow.
4th and about 10. They got DePalma to the near side.
They have both receivers flex this time.
Ryerson over the middle. Knocked down by Joe Scott, number 8. Joe Scott, the safety, right there in the play for Tom Zavries. The Raiders hold. And it looks like we're going to have a heck of a football game here at Brick Township High School. There's this shot of the scoreboard. Raiders leading 8-0, scoring at the end of the first quarter. And the Raider band whooping it up to our left.
It's an exciting game, Kenny. The ball's moving up and down the field.
Let's cool on the confetti, gang.
He's got about 5.
5-yard gain by Slevin. Meyer made the stop, number 37 for Brick. He got more than that. He got about 6 on the play, so 2nd and 4. McKelvey brings the play in for the Raiders. All right, this time Verderosa's on the left side of the line. They'll flip-flop those tackles. Strong formation to the right. Chiarella, the wingback, trying to get to the outside. An excellent pursuit by the Dragons. Making the stop was Dave Darcy, the right cornerback, number 17.
Ken, this Brick team's a little different than other Brick teams I've seen in the past. They appear to be a little bit smaller, but a lot quicker than other Brick teams I've seen. They pursue very well, and their speed is exceptional.
This is a 3rd and 3. No hole at all. Brick stacks it up in the middle. Going to bring a 4th down up.
Which means the Raiders will have to punt, and guess who's going to be back there to receive that punt?
There you see Warren Wolf in his gray suit, pacing the sideline. He's a pacer. Bob, were you a pacer or were you a stationary coach?
Kenny, I don't know. I don't remember. All I can remember is I'd get so excited I was thinking 3 plays ahead, and when the game was finished, I couldn't remember what happened in the game. I'd have to watch the game films.
Sitting in front of us is John Gardy, the former Central coach. He was a stationary coach. He would stand in one position, but Warren Wolf is a pacer. He's up and down those sidelines. There you see Panuska.
There's pressure on it.
Verderosa,
Nice
high
kick.
punt. Panuska, single safety, fair catch at the 36-yard line. Brick takes over, 1st and 10.
I'm surprised so early in the game, Ken, that Brick decided to put pressure on a Raider punter, but I guess maybe they saw something in their scouting report and felt they could get it. With a return man like Panuska, you would think that they would go for the return with this kind of field position.
Schiavo looking to Ed Sarluca for the defensive signals for Tom's River East. Schiavo, 47, calling the signals. 6:58 left in the half. Raiders lead the Dragons 8-0. DePalma comes to the near side as the wingback. Panuska, and Panuska gets about 5 or 6. On the tackle, Yates, number 7, Scott, number 8, and Chiarella, number 21. Got 5, 2nd and 5 coming up for the Dragons. Wing right. Ryerson to Panuska. Verderosa stacks him up. And he had help as Chris Schultz was right there with Jimmy. Loss on the play.
Kenny, I think the Raiders here may have picked up a couple of keys the way the Brick is shifting its people around. They appear to be doing certain things as we see DePalma shift and some of the other people shift around that Brick offense, and Verderosa is breaking free on occasion.
Loss of a yard, 3rd and 6 for the Dragons. Pitch back, here comes Jones. And Jones has a 1st down and more. He crosses midfield to about the Raider 46-yard line. Tim Jones, the fullback.
And Kenny, guess who made the tackle? Verderosa from the left defensive tackle position all the way on the opposite sideline. Tell me he doesn't want to play tonight.
All right, the Dragons cross over into Raider territory. Tim Jones, 180-pound senior fullback, was the ball carrier. Time running out fast here, down to 5 minutes, 24 seconds left in the half. Ryerson a pass, and he's got Judge, and Yates finally trips him up with help from Gearity. And it looks like another 1st down for the Dragons.
Picked up about 12, Kenny.
Tom Judge, the right end. We have to take a break. We'll be right back. Into number 34, DePalma, to the near side.
Brick line.
Run out of bounds, picked up about 5.
Brick lined up in a double wing formation where they pitched to the fullback before, and this time they just turned around and they just threw a quick out pattern to DePalma, who picked up about 9 yards.
Yeah, he got more than I thought. It's so hard at this angle to read on that near sideline in front of the Raider bench. He got 9. Ball's down at the 25-yard line. Brick on the move. And that time they stack it up. That was McKelvey on the bottom, and he had help from number 73, Dominic Giordano in there, number 73, to help on that stop. Loss of a yard, 3rd and 2. Jones tries to fall forward after the hit.
I think he's got it, Kenny. He picked up about 2 extra yards with the second effort. Referee's now bringing the ball back. It'll probably be a measurement.
Chris Schiavo along with McKelvey on the stop. Let's see if they're going to measure. Very close at the 25-yard line. They're going to measure it.
It's exceptionally fast-moving first half, Kenny. Hasn't been any timeouts called, and both teams are really coming at each other.
3 minutes, 46 seconds left in the half. And it's a 1st down for the Dragons. Wing to the right.
It's Panuska.
Panuska into the secondary. Joe Scott on the stop with help from Chiarella.
Picked up about 5.
Giordano also in there, number 73. Dom Giordano, 5'7", 163-pound junior, getting a chance to play there on that front line. At left tackle. And there's a big defensive play. Seigler, along with Chevrier, stack up Panuska for a big loss. Replay coming up, Bob.
Watch this. It's just a quick toss to Panuska without a lead blocker. And Chevrier reads it very nicely, comes across, makes a great stop there.
Back to the line of scrimmage now, regional line of scrimmage, 10 yards to go. Jones has a hole. And Jones is really ripping off some long runs here.
They faked the lead back into the line. That's the play Panuska broke before for big yards. It gave the ball to the second back. They picked up a first down.
Scott made the stop for East. They're going to mark that ball at the 15-yard line. Inside the 15, actually, the 14. Raiders threatening East. Brick threatening for their first score here. Jones. That time Seigler's right there to make the stop, along with Schiavo. Got maybe a yard. We'll call it 2nd and 9.
Clock is still running here, Kenny. That's
1
important.
minute and 38 seconds. Ryerson to throw, and he's got him in. Touchdown, Brick. Tom Judge. 14-yard scoring pass from Jim Ryerson, the quarterback. And Brick is on the scoreboard. It is now 8-6. The time in that score, 1 minute, 21 seconds of the second period. Here's a replay, Bob.
All right, watch the play action fake, and watch Tom Judge slide across the middle there, finds a spot, hooks up in between the zones, and picks off the pass for the touchdown. Brick's going for 2, Ken.
Ryerson, jump pass over the middle.
Judge is
same
in.
man has scored a touchdown. And over the years, that's been a very big play, that jump pass over the middle. I can remember Brick using that back in the 60s. We got a tie ball game, 8-8. So we got quite a ball game. And Bob, while we got a minute, I have an announcement I was supposed to make at Toms River South game last night, and I'd like to make it now. Toms River South Football Club is sponsoring a barn dance Saturday, November 7th at the Beechwood Firehouse on Beechwood Boulevard. A $7.50 ticket will include food, beer, and setups. You bring your own. There will be a professional caller running the show. For tickets, call 341-4851 or 244-2882. That's 341-4851 or 244-2882 for tickets for the Toms River South Barn Dance on November 7th at the Beechwood Firehouse on Beechwood Boulevard. Well, Brick is ready to kick off. And I'll tell you, Tim Jones, certainly he doesn't get the headlines Panuska does, Bob, but he looked pretty good running the ball on that drive, too.
Oh, he did. He ran with power, and he got open across the middle very nicely there for the touchdown play. And he hooked up. It was a spot pass. He hooked up in there, and the ball was right on the money.
Vinnie Gearity to the far side for East to return this kick. Of course, Panuska is the man who will kick off. And there's the whistle. And it's going to go to Gearity. Back at the 9, fumbles and then pulls it in. And he's up to about the 20-yard line. East will take over with 1 minute and 14 seconds left in the first half. On the stop for Bricktown was was Franchcini, number 14, Tony Franchcini, on the stop for the Dragons.
It's getting difficult to read our notes here, Ken, with this
We're
confetti
a little bit
all
dark
over.
up here. We got
And it's
confetti
dark.
all over our notes, sitting in the east stands.
Fumble. Brick's
Loose
got the ball.
football. Brick's got it. Number 58 was on the football for the Dragons. Gus Zamitis, the right end. And Brick may get another shot at a score before halftime. Green Dragons call timeout. They have the football at the 20-yard line. Those kind of mistakes, what we were talking about, Bob, you cannot make.
You can't make them against a
Brick
club
Township.
like Brick. No, you can't, Ken. It's important here that the Raiders hold because they want to keep this tie going in at halftime. They don't want to relinquish the lead and give Brick an easy touchdown here.
Warren Wolf is on that field in the huddle, talking to his Dragons. Ron Signorino's pacing the sidelines across the way. And he's been pacing back and forth. There you see, well, Ron's hidden right now, but he's emerging right in the center there, those three coaches.
I still can't get used to seeing Ronnie in that green and white.
There he is right there. He's turning around completely there, pacing, going to the right.
Before tonight, Kenny, the last time I saw Ronnie, he was up here interviewing me and I was coaching a Monmouth All-Star team. And tonight I'm up here and he's down there.
A little role reversal here. All right, here come the Dragons. Ryerson keeps it, wants to throw.
He's
deep,
got him in. It's
and
overthrown.
overthrows his man. Had a man open. Number 88 was the intended receiver, Mike Lewis. Well, we know Ryerson's got a good arm. He can throw long, that's for sure.
And he's thrown off play action, but I don't think the play action is going to fool anybody with 43 seconds on the clock and Brick on the 20-yard line.
Second down for the Dragons. Lewis comes to the near side.
I think
DePalma in motion.
you may see Panuska here.
Oh,
There it
Panuska!
is.
He's got a hole.
Kenny, that time Panuska lined up in a little different alignment, and I was looking for him to get the ball on a draw play or a screen or something like that. I thought they would use him there and try and make use of his speed.
Gearity on the tackle for the Raiders. First down for Brick, and goal to go. They're just about at the 10-yard line. It's Sarluca. There's George Jeck pacing in front of the Raider bench. Bob, this is going to be a funny experience for Ron Signorino. He teaches in Toms River East, and he's coaching for Brick.
I'll bet you he had a heck of a week in school. The kids must have been on him all week.
There you see the Raider bench. George Jeck putting his hat back on, not too happy right now. There's the Green Dragon huddle. Judge number 84, DePalma number 34 with his back to the camera.
You know, Ken, well, as a timeout, mentioning the fact that Signorino and Warren Wolf on the same sideline. There are two super coaches and two fantastic gentlemen. They're both absolute gentlemen. Anytime you meet them, they're two of the nicest guys in the world. And I have a son, and someday, I guess the best tribute I can pay them is say that someday I hope my son plays for a coach like that.
All right, the ball is on the 8-yard line. First down. And it's Sarluca comes back to the Raiders sideline. Raiders need a big defensive play. Ryerson to throw. Rolling to the near side.
He's got a man.
Throws in a corner. Incomplete. Had a man. Incomplete.
Tim Jones was open right on the goal line. The ball went through his hands. It was thrown hard. It's getting a little cooler as the night progresses, and the ball went right through Jones's hands.
2nd and 8. Clock shows 28 seconds stopped on the incompletion. There you see the scoreboard.
I think you'll see Brick keep the ball in the air and take the shots at the touchdown here so that they can get 3 or 4 pass plays, or they can get 2 or 3 pass plays off here with the 28 seconds. They might try a field goal on last down if they don't get in the end zone. That might change things, Ken. That's going to bring them in 5 yards closer, or half the distance. That's going to put the ball inside the 5. It's on about the 4-yard line.
All right, here come the Dragons at the 4-yard line. Threatening to go in with a halftime lead. The score is tied, 8-8.
There's Panuska coming
Panuska
outside.
Speed and good tackle by McKelvey. Jay McKelvey, the end, came in and made a good tackle. No touchdown.
Brick immediately called timeout after that to try and save those 21 seconds on the clock.
Looks like the ball is at about the 2-yard line, maybe the 3.
Here comes Warren on the field. He'll probably take one more shot at it, and then if not, kick the field goal.
"21 seconds on that clock. The Raiders scored first. Brick has come back in the second period to tie it up and threatening to go in with a halftime lead.
You realize, Kenny, the momentum in a ball game rests right here. There's 21 seconds to go. If the Raiders hold them, they've got to go in with a great psychological edge. If Brick scores, they've got to go in with the edge. It's a big 21 seconds.
Ed Sarluca talking to that defensive huddle for Toms River East. And Ed had some success coaching against Brick when he was the defensive coordinator for Bob Fiacco at Toms River North. They beat the Brick a couple of times when they were together over at Toms River North on Thanksgiving Day. One year, of course, Bob Fiacco pulled off the green jerseys here at this field and went on to beat Brick. Here we go. Ryerson wants to throw. Got a man open in the
He's
corner.
under pressure.
And he throws it away.
That's intentional grounding.
Right,
There's the
intentional
flag.
grounding.
Right.
McKelvey shot in there along with
That's a good
number
call.
34, Chevrier. They put the heat on him.
The referee, Gary
He
Penta.
never saw the open man in the far left corner.
He never saw him.
Credit the pressure.
I believe that was Panuska who was open in the corner, Kenny. But Gary Penta, the referee, was a little late with that flag, but that was intentional grounding. There was no receiver within 15 yards of that pass.
Lost it down on the intentional grounding. It'll be 4th down. They're going to go for the field goal, and they're going to mark the ball at the 10.
Panuska's got that kind of
20-yard
range.
field goal attempt. Ryerson's holding for Panuska.
It's up.
Panuska has it up.
It's good.
It's good. And Brick gets 3 more points. They take the lead with 11 seconds left in the second period. 11-8 as Pete Panuska kicks a 20-yard field goal. Now let's see if the Raiders can get a return here, a long return. 11-8, Dragons now lead as they come from behind. And there you're seeing how valuable Pete Panuska is as he puts the field goal through the uprights, giving his club a 3-point advantage. Pete's brother, Paul Panuska, former defensive end on the state championship team of 1974, is one of the coaches for Brick, and he does coach the defensive ends. we get a chance, we'll run down the coaching staff for Brick. Panuska waiting for the signal. And here we go. Tonight's game, as Brick Township has made a late arrival and are just coming on the field. East is already here. And let me tell you, the halftime entertainment with our guest John Gearity came your way by the New Jersey National Bank, along with Berkeley's Machine Shop and Danny's American. And bringing you the third quarter, along with the New Jersey National Bank, will be Dunkin' Donuts of Bayville, Marita's Skiers Place, and Carolina Furniture. Ken Turp and Bob Strangi as we're about ready to go, as Tom's River East is trailing this ball game 11-8. Captain's going out to the center of the field. Number 28 is Pat Slevin for East, along with number 36 for the Raiders, Bob Valente, the end. Bob, while we have a chance, I wanted to run down the coaching staffs. I'll run down Brick Township. Bill Brunner is the line coach, along with Dennis Philippone. Now, Dennis Philippone was an outstanding lineman here, along with his twin brother. They played side by side, and Dennis has come back to Brick to coach under Warren Wolf. Paul Panuska, the brother of number 21, is the defensive end coach. Handling the backs is a former Brick quarterback, Dan Duddy. He quarterbacked when Danny McCullough played for Brick. Of course, McCullough is coaching over at Central. And Tom Gianelli is a secondary coach. Ron Signorino handles the linebackers. And of course, Warren Wolf is the head coach of the Dragons, and what a record he has had over the years. Bob, why don't you run down that North coaching staff under George Jeck?
All right, of course we have head coach George Jeck, and we have Jack Bush coaching the offensive ends, Rick Dispoto coaching the offensive line, Mike Conlon coaching the offensive backs, Joe Tirella coaching the defensive backs, Al Zalewski coaching the linebackers, Ed Sarluca coaching the defensive coordinator, and George Jeck putting the whole thing together.
Jimmy Verderosa will kick off for the Raiders as they'll go left to right on your screen.
Can we introduce the coaching staffs? And needless to say, both coaches have done a great job getting their ball clubs ready for tonight's game.
Warren Wolf's record, he's in his 24th year. Going in was 170-42-1. So he had 3 more wins on there, and he's got 173 career victories. Panuska is the deep back in the center for the Dragons. High kick, far side at the 12. And what a hit made by number 53 for Tom's River East, and that is David Ireland, a 5'9", 171-pound junior. Quite a hit by Dave.
You can hear that hit all the way up here in the top row. Like music to a coach's ears, Ken.
We're still getting the confetti all over our notes here. And I have to dust it off or I'm not going to be able to read the numbers here.
Brick's putting the ball in play on the 25-yard line.
Ryerson hands to Jones. Jones was hit very hard by a fired up number 34, Bob Chevrier, the left outside linebacker. Gain of 1 on a play, 2nd and 9. For letterheads, envelopes, posters, flyers, business forms, invitations, and all your printing needs, it's the Office Copy Center Printing Company of Tom's River, home of the one-day business card. Call 349-4611.
Is that double wing formation, Ken?
Ryerson dumps it off to DePalma, and DePalma is knocked down by Chiarella, number 21.
That's that little pass play we saw in the first half. They go into a double wing. DePalma just broke a quick out pattern into the flat, and he picked up about 6 yards.
Going to be 3rd down, a long 4 for the Dragons. They lead 11-8. And it's Jones, the fullback. Jones very close to a 1st down.
I think he's got the 1st down, Kenny.
Jay McKelvey on the stop for the Raiders at right end.
There's the
First and 10 for the Dragons. Ball's at the 36-yard line of Brick. Pitch, Panuska around the short side of the field. They went to the narrow side of the field and right in front of the brick bench, making the stop. A man who's seen a lot of action in that first half, who's come in there as they've gone to basically a 6-man line, is Dom Giordano, who's getting a chance to play now that they've gone to a bigger front. Second and 6, 4-yard gain. Jones, not much of a gain at all, maybe a yard or two. Verderosa in there, number 77, along with 56, Chris Schultz. Maybe a yard gain. I actually lost a yard. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Dragons. Slot to the near side. Jones, and they close the hole very quickly. Good pursuit by the linebackers. Also coming up was Joe Scott. Yatesy, number 7, the linebacker, closed it along with Scott, and a hold brick on this drive. 4th and 3 to go. Punting for the Dragons. Panuska will drop back the punt. Slevin, number 28, and Gearity, 24, are deep for the Raiders. Yatesy is the up back, number 7.
East is setting up a return.
Gearity will let it bounce and will not return it. Good roll down to the 10-yard line. Excellent kick by Pete Panuska. Number 27 for Brick, Joe Kutant on the coverage for the special teams.
When you're playing against Brick, Kenny, you can't help wonder why those kind of things happen to you. You do a job, you hold them, and you get a roll of about 20 more yards, and you get the ball inside your own 10-yard line instead of getting an extra 10 yards for better field position.
Clock running, 8:30 left in the 3rd period. Raiders' first possession of the 2nd half. Joe Scott pitches back. They go around the left side. Slevin took the pitch from Scott. Number 36, Jones, the linebacker, made the tackle for the Dragons. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. We have Bob Scott, Joe's father, sitting next to me. Bob's making comments here, and he's a little worried it's going over here.
Bob's beginning to join the East coaching staff and call plays.
Bob was an old quarterback himself, so. Here's Joe Scott, long count.
Yeah, he may be audibilizing.
Trying to draw him, maybe offside or changing the play. And the ball carrier was Gearity. Jones right there.
Tackle was made by number 58, Gus Zamitis.
Zamitis with Jones. The ball is resting at the 15. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Slevin in with the play, replacing Gearity. And this is one part of the field where East cannot afford any mistakes.
You can't give the ball a brick down here.
Wing to the right. Split backfield. Scott sets up the throw. And the pressure, he avoids it. He's scampering out to the left. Throws on the run, got a man. Complete. Number 36 for Toms River South was Bob Valente, the end, 185-pound junior. Panuska is hurt. Here's the replay. Valente is the receiver on this
Take
play.
a look. He makes
Watch Scott scamper.
He makes a fake draw. Scott rolls out nicely, gets away, avoids the tacklers, sees the open receiver, and hits his man.
Valente, the receiver.
Scott really threaded a needle on that pass, Ken.
And Warren Wolf is out looking at the franchise.
Scott was very impressive on that. He rolled out, was rolling to his left, and threw back to his right against the grain. That's a difficult pass for a quarterback. It's a big first down.
I gotta ask Bob Scott here. Bob, I don't remember you being that good of a scampering quarterback when you played for Central, were you?
No, not at all.
But you wore the same number 8 staying in the family, right?
Right.
Of course, Bob Sr. Wore number 8, all-county defensive back for the Raiders last year. Now William & Mary, and Now younger brother Joe is going to continue to carry number 8 for the Scott family. Warren Wolf is really looking Panuska over. And,
I don't think that's Panuska, Ken. I think
no?
I see 21 back here, and 21 back in the huddle there.
It isn't Panuska. Let's get his number when he gets up.
That's number 31.
It's
Ken.
31, okay. That's Ray Brothers, the right inside linebacker, a 5'11", 180-pound junior. He walks off under his own power. He's going to be all right. I think if it had been Panuska, you would have heard a collective sigh of relief there when he ran off the field. All right, after Scott scampering, throwing on the run to Valente, they pick up a first down for the Raiders. Mix up on a handoff, but luckily no fumble as Slevin held on to the football.
Slevin picked up about 3 yards on that on a busted play.
Ball's on a 26. 2nd and 6 for the Raiders. Gearity comes in with a play from George Jeck. Wing to the left. Wing in motion, Chiarella. Scott the throw, looking for Chiarella, and incomplete. We have to take a time. Intended for Valente, he was knocked down, and East is looking for an interference call. Valente was the intended receiver. And Joe Scott is pleading with the official for the interference call. Nothing thrown on the field.
I don't know if we've got that on a replay, Ken, but Valente was
Here's the
crossing
replay.
middle
Let's
here,
see if we can see
and
Valente get knocked down.
He really gets knocked down.
Here's Verderosa. High punt. Ryerson is going to let it bounce, and downed immediately on the 45-yard line by Toms River East.
It's not nice to second-guess officials, Kenny, but when you see it play like that, that's tough.
I don't know how they missed
I mean,
that
everybody in the stadium saw that one.
Well, Jones got away with that one.
I think the official was looking the wrong way, and he just didn't see it, because I'm sure if he saw that, he would have thrown a flag.
1st and 10 Dragons from their own 46. Ryerson pitches to number 45, who was dumped by Chevrier, who shot through there. Bob Chevrier, the left outside linebacker.
Chevrier read the quick toss, and he just fired right across.
Here's a replay on this.
Watch how quick Chevrier reads this.
Ed Cole is the ball carrier. First time we've seen him run tonight. Never had a chance. 2nd and 14. Ryerson throwing on a run. Incomplete. Intended for Judge, number 84, the right end. Covered by Joe Scott and Chiarella. 3rd and 14 for Brick. All the fans yelling, watch out for the draw.
Panuska is lined up a little deeper in the backfield.
DePalma in motion.
There it is.
Draw, here it is. Panuska. Panuska is going to be short of a first down. He did get good yardage. Yajacaj along with Gearity on the stop, and Joe Scott the safety man.
Panuska was lined up a little deeper than his normal set in the backfield that time. From that position, they've used him on a quick toss and the draw play earlier in the game.
4th and 4, and the East fans called that play. They said, watch for the draw. Here's the replay.
See how nice he cuts back against the grain. He reads his blocks very well, Panuska.
Panuska to punt.
Nice kick.
Long sailor, Slevin at the 10, 15, 20.
Was that about a 45, 50-yard kick, Ken?
Yeah, it was a sailor. Number 25 for Brick made the stop. Gary Tordo. East takes over, 1st and 10. And Joe Scott now coming on the field. Last one in the huddle for East, the quarterback with a play. Valente, the left end. Glanzman, the tight end on the right side. Chiarella in motion. Scott wants to throw.
He's got a man.
Got him, and incomplete. Just off the fingertips of Slevin. Covering on the play, the right outside linebacker, Franchcini. 2nd and 10.
Brick cornerbacks are playing very tight up on the receivers. I think before the game's over, you're going to see Toms River East send a man on an out pattern and then break him up the field. Fake the out and go, and try and get all the marbles on one shot.
Ray Brothers, who was injured, is back on that field, and he's calling the defensive signals, the right inside linebacker for Brick. McKelvey, normally the tight end, is split to the near side.
He's in a shotgun.
Shotgun. Delay of game against East. That's the first time we saw the Raiders come out in a shotgun tonight.
That was a little bit of a surprise. It looked like a short punt formation. We realized it was a shotgun.
Now Jeck sending in a play here. And he's going to send it in with Gearity, 24, replacing Slevin.
You can't afford to make mistakes like a delay of game, Kenny, against a club like Brick when you're inside your own 20-yard line. Those kind of things have got to hurt you.
2nd and 15. Scott has one lone setback, and he gives it to him, Gearity. Gearity spins forward after being hit and picks up another yard as Brothers, 31, made the initial hit, and Bill Vermeil, a 220-pound left tackle, number 77, finally put him away. Got about 8 yards, but it's going to be 3rd down and 7, close to 8.
Coach Jeck wanted to move away from the shadow of his own goal line.
It's 12 yards to go. The clock is showing 2:45 in the 3rd period. No score so far in the 3rd quarter. Scott wants to throw. He's going to roll. He's long one down in front of the Brick bench. And there might be a possible interference.
No, there's
call.
no flag down.
2 Green Dragons went up with the intended receiver, Valente. One of them was Panuska.
There was some bumping there.
Pete Panuska covering on the play. So the Raiders will have to punt it away. Verderosa will have to do the kicking. There you see Jimmy.
Jimmy's been playing a whale of a game on defense for the Raiders, Ken.
Rick should get excellent field position. They have Panuska and Ryerson on the East 45.
Nice
Good
kick.
strong kick. Sends Ryerson back 10 yards to his own 45. Fair catch. Flag at midfield.
I didn't see anything on that, Ken, unless they're going to say signal for an illegal fair catch. I don't know.
The official's talking to the Brick sideline.
The head referee is now getting the Raider captain, Gary Penta, the head referee.
And it's going to be against Brick. Apparently, Verderosa signaling they want to decline it. We got to wait and see what's going to happen. We're only guessing.
I don't know why they would decline a penalty if it's against Brick.
Oh, it is decline. It was against East. So Brick wants the football. They decline the penalty.
I think, Kenny, what happened was this, that there was an illegal fair catch sign, and rather than punt the ball over again, since it was an excellent punt, they elected to keep the ball where it was rather than give Brick a chance to return the punt.
All right, so that's what Verderosa was doing. He was declining the penalty. All right, here goes Brick on offense. 47-yard line of the Dragons. And Panuska cross midfield to about the Toms River East 47.
Pick up about 6, Ken.
Chuck Seigler, Mark Yatesy make the stop. 7-yard gain 2nd and 3. There you see a good shot of the brick stands across the way. Wing to the left. And it's Jones. Jones spins forward, refused to get down, picked up the first down.
Nice second effort by Jones. He was hit at the line of scrimmage and just broke the tackle and picked up about 5 yards and got the first down.
Chevrier and Schiavo on a stop for the Raiders. And the ball's down to the Toms River East 42-yard line. 1st and 10, Dragons.
On each of the exchange of punts, Ken, Brick seems to be moving closer and closer to the Raider goal line.
Jimmy Schultz split to the far side for the Brick Dragons. Panuska takes the pitch, and not too much of a gain. Good defense by the Raiders. Number 73, Giordano in there, along with Scott, number 8. Picked up 1 yard, 2nd and 9. 1 minute left in the third quarter.
Green Dragons seem to be coming to life here, Ken. They seem to be coming out of the huddle a little quicker, moving a little faster.
There's the reverse play. Panuska tripped up.
Nice
Big
play.
loss. Big loss. And number 34, Bob Chevrier, another big play for the Raider defense. And Chevrier hurt his arm on that tackle. Panuska takes a big loss.
Chevrier has made about 3 outstanding defensive plays this half.
Here's a replay.
Watch the great outside pressure. He reads the reverse and watch him fly up there and make that hit. And tripping up Panuska, he appears to he hurt his arm a little bit.
3rd and 17. The ball is way back at the Toms River East 48-yard line. Now this may be a delay. The end of the quarter. That's the end of the quarter with Brick leading 11-6 over Toms River East. And let me tell you that the third quarter was brought your way tonight by the New Jersey National Bank, along with Dunkin' Donuts of Bayville, Marita's Skiers Place, and Carolina Furniture. We'll be back in a moment. Here's a shot of the scoreboard as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. New Jersey National Bank bringing you the action along with Blair's Rental Service and Luigi's Deli. Brick has 3rd and 17. First play of the final period. Panuska in motion.
Here comes a pass.
Ryerson a throw.
He's got a man open deep.
And broken up by Chiarella.
Nicely.
Beautiful play by Sal Chiarella. Intended for number 88, Mike Lewis.
Lewis had a step on Sal. Sal made a great play. Watch it. Bring Panuska in motion here to get him outside. And you see a great play there. Great play by Chiarella.
4th and 17 for the Dragons. Panuska, the punt. Good snap, good kick. Fair catch by number 24, Gearity. And the Raiders take over. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
The Raiders haven't been able to get any kind of field position this whole half, Ken. They keep on getting the ball deep in their own territory. And in a close ball game like this, you have to play it pretty conservatively. But now as the seconds tick off the clock, you may see Coach Jeck open up.
Trying to wedge him out a little bit. East has not had very good field position here in the second half. That was Slevin, the ball carrier. Picked up 1, 2nd and 9. Gearity back in for the Raiders.
You know, Ken, regardless of the outcome of this game, Coach Jeck has done a great job with this Raider football team. He's brought them a long way since last year.
Here they are playing the number 1 team in the state and giving them all they can handle. Scott rolling out.
He's got
Gonna
room.
keep it. He's got a hole, and Scott lunges forward, and he may have the first down. Gonna be very close.
He's
at
close.
The 25. No, they mark the ball back. They mark it back at the 24, and I believe that's going to be just short of a first. 3rd and 1, less than a yard. They say his knee hit at the 24. Excellent quarterback keep, good blocking for Scott. Now they're going to measure. There you see a good shot on the monitor.
I think it's going to be a little short. When the referee moved the ball back, just that extra foot, it makes all the difference.
Big 3rd down play for the Raiders. Slevin back in. Brick Township leading 11-8 on Pete Panuska's field goal at the end of the first half. 20-yard field goal. Quick count, Slevin got a first down. Panuska made the stop. 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
The Dragons appeared to be looking for him to come inside, and they crossed him up by going with the power play outside.
And they're going to have the first down at the 28.
A lot of character in this young Raider football team. Kenny twice come up with big first downs.
Don Petalunas, number 82, in a receiver position for the Raiders. Scott hands off. Not much of a hole that time. Slevin, the ball carrier. Vermeil and Jones on the stop for the Dragons. 2nd and 9. And Bob Valente back in at end for East. Here's a shotgun. We saw it once before, but the play was blown dead by a penalty. Scott looking to throw.
He's got a man.
Got plenty of time. And bounces off the defensive man intended for Valente. And number 31, Ray Brothers, upset. The ball hit him in the back. Here's the replay. Now watch this.
Two great defenders collide, and the ball falls incomplete.
Off the shoulder pads is actually what happened. 3rd and 9 for the Raiders. And Ron Signorino continues the pace across the way.
I was watching him fire up that defense, Kenny. He's jumping and screaming and hollering.
Warren pacing further down the way. Scott scans out of the pocket and caught from behind by Tom Judge, number 84.
I'm afraid he's going to be just short of that first down, though, Ken.
Scott had a big hole up the middle and he scampered out, but Judge reacted very quickly and nailed him from behind. 4th and 2.
There's still 8 minutes to go in the game, and with this kind of field position, Coach Jeck is very wisely going to punt the ball.
Panuska and Ryerson dropping back for the Dragons.
Dragons appear to be loading up the middle, but they're going to set up.
Fake. Verderosa passes to Slevin, no good. They did not get the first down. The Raiders gamble and it backfires. 63 on that specials team. Jerry Priest was there, along with 58, Ray Ligori, and they stack it up. Dragons take over. An excellent field position at the Toms R East 34-yard line.
You can't say that George Jeck doesn't want to go out in this ball game.
Panuska slithers through for a good gain. Verderosa tripped him up. And Seigler made the final hit. 2nd and 7. Big gamble by East, and it didn't work. Pitch going around the far side. Cole, number 45. On the stop, Joe Scott, number 8, and Verderosa, Schiavo, number 47. Gonna need 5 on 3rd down. Ball's at the 29.
Actually, Kenny, Brick is in 4-down territory here. They don't have to punt the ball. So they've got 2 downs to pick up those 5 yards.
Tim Jones off the left side.
That's going to put him close.
And don't forget, Panuska can kick a field goal, although as far as the score goes, it won't be that big of a factor. But if he can kick a field goal, it'll certainly deny East a chance to tie this game with a field goal. 4th and 3.
Time to watch Mr. Panuska.
Panuska, no,
Fake,
it's going to be
fake,
a
he should
pass.
throw it.
Ryerson rolls out. He's got a 1st down to Tim Jones. Joe Scott on a tackle for East. They used Panuska as a decoy.
Good call by the Brick staff.
1st and 10, Dragons. They're on the 20-yard line.
Remember John Gardy saying at halftime that if you try to stop just Panuska, you'd be 3 touchdowns down on the score? There's one of the reasons why.
Jones stacked up. Picks up some yardage. Schiavo, number 47 on the bottom, along with number 56, Chris Schultz, the right end. Gain of about 3, 2nd and a long 7. Timeout, officials timeout. Here we go. Clock running, 5:35 left in this ball game. Brick leading East 11-8. Pitch to Panuska.
He's got room, he's got the corner.
And he's going to turn the corner and run out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
It looks like Kenny's down around a 1-yard line.
Gearity ran him out.
Watch this, Kenny. He gets two great blocks on the corner. He turns up with 2 nice blockers in front of him and turns on the afterburners. When he gets that sideline, boy, he's just a jet. It was a real nice block by Tom Judge, the tight end on that play.
Straight ahead, looking for touchdown. Cole, number 45, is in for the score. Ed Cole, a junior, 6 foot, 180 pounder, and we'll give him a 1-yard touchdown at the 5-minute and 12-second mark. Puts the Dragons on top, 17-8. Panuska to kick. And how many times has George Jeck seen that green machine from the other side of the field do this?
Kick is no good.
Kick is no good, and we'll take a brief timeout. His kickoff.
That big gamble, Kenny, on that fake kick there really hurt the Raiders. 5-12, now they're down 2 scores.
Brick Band whooping it up across the way.
We talked about giving the Brick Club opportunities. We've seen them get 2, one before the half, which they cashed into a field goal, and now this one in the last quarter, which they cashed in for a touchdown. Brick just doesn't make those mistakes, and you can't make mistakes against them and expect to beat them.
Panuska kicks off, end over end. Schiavo, and Schiavo is going to cross the 35 to about the 37-yard line where the Raiders take over.
Well, the Raiders are going to get the ball with good field position. They're going to have to open up their attack because they've got to get 2 scores if they want to do something in the ball game.
Next week, we'll have one game for you. We'll be doing the Southern Regional game at home with Toms River North. You'll see that game in the Toms River area on Sunday evening at 8 o'clock, and Lacey on South. We'll see the game Monday night at 8 on Channel 8. And Bob Strange will be there with me in Manahawkin for that game.
The Brick defensive backs now have loosened up considerably.
Shotgun Scott down the middle, incomplete. Intended for McKelvey.
Brick defense is prepared to give up the short completion here because they got the clock in their favor. They can give up 4 or 5 short completions and still eat up a big chunk of that clock.
And Warren Wolf and Ron Signorino continue to pace in opposite directions across the way. Ron Signorino marching from left to right down by the line of scrimmage. You see him right in the background there, just to the left of the screen. He's kneeling now watching this play. Here's Chiarella coming around on the reverse. They brought the flanker or wingback around. Sal Chiarella, the ball carrier.
You know, Ken, in talking to Signorino and Coach Wolf before the game, you can see why they're great coaches.
There you see Ron Signorino on the right side of the screen with a green jacket.
After all their years in coaching, Kenny, they have such great intensity. You could hardly talk to either man before the game. They were so intense, and you could see why they can get their ball clubs feeling the same way about this game of football.
Ron coaching the defense along with Tom Gianelli, and they've gone to this 4-4 that Ron ran at Toms River South for so many years. Scott wants to throw.
He's got time.
And Panuska intercepts.
Great interception by
Panuska, showing you why he's all state. He picks it off at the Brick 47-yard line.
Leaping interception by Panuska.
You are getting to see one of the top players in the state do it all tonight. Here's a replay.
You can watch Scott. Scott takes a semi-rollout. He gets time here. He gets some good blocking. He delivers the ball, and you see Panuska just leap in front of the receiver and pull it away.
All right, up the middle they go for 5 or 6 yards. Schiavo on the stop.
That was a fullback, Jones, Kenny.
He may be hurt. He's getting up. Now, apparently he lost his shoe. He lost his shoe, and he'll have to leave the field. 2nd and 4. There's the clock running down to the 3-minute mark coming up. Rick 17-6. I'm sorry, 17-8. Panuska short of the first down. McKelvey on the tackle. 3rd coming up, and about a yard. Maybe leaving less than a yard. May have a measurement here. There's a good shot of midfield stripe.
Rick asking for a measurement here, Ken, but the ball appears to be short.
It is short. We got George Jeck here on this side coaching against Warren Wolf, who we worked with for so many years. And Pete Bush on this side, who played for Ron Signorino, was his captain on a 68 undefeated team. And of course, Pete Bush coached for so many years recently with Ron Signorino. So we got all kinds of old acquaintances renewed tonight. Straight ahead goes Cole. You got the first down, and it'll mark it at the 40-yard line of the Raiders. There's George Jeck. George, who played the big part in so many victories here at Brick Township, now on the other side of the field. And there you see his old mentor, Warren Wolf, in the gray suit across the way. Bob, did you ever have that experience where one of your assistants went out and coached against you? Did that ever happen?
I've seen a lot of my assistants go out to coach, you know, as Lou Brasillo's at Lacey and Dave Vivino came down here to Brick, but never to have one come back as a head coach against me. We did have a heck of a scrimmage down here one day with Brick when Dave Vivino was coaching down here. We really had a Donnybrook of a scrimmage with Brick. Their kids and our kids kind of viewed it as an unofficial state championship game.
5-yard gain on a play, 2nd and 5. The Brick has a new running back in there, number 25, Gary Tordo. He carried the ball on the previous play. Pitch to Tordo. He's in for Panuska. Tripped up in the backfield, but he spun forward and avoided the loss.
Nice second effort by Tordo on that. He picked up 5 yards that got back to the line of scrimmage.
Verderosa McKelvey make the stop. East calls timeout. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Have you given any thought to today's outstanding player yet, Ken?
I don't know how you can say anything but Panuska. He's done everything.
Geez, Ken, we saw him kick a field goal. We saw him punt. We saw him make a diving interception. We saw him run for yardage. We saw him make tackles. I don't know. What else do you think he could do?
Well, we're going to name Pete our player of the game. I'll tell you what, Bob, you want to head down. Maybe you can grab Pete, and maybe we can get Signorino or one of the coaches to come over with us. So I'm going to let you go and get a start.
All right, Ken, I'll see you on the field.
Maybe you can round them off at the gate. 1 minute, 25 seconds left to play. So Pete Panuska is our player of the game, as he did just about everything tonight. Kicked the field goal, ran for lots of yardage, intercepted a key pass here late in the game, and has been a decoy at times to help open it up for Timmy Jones and the other backs in the Brick attack. 3rd and 6 coming up for the Dragons. Cole and Tordo are the backs for the Dragons now. Ryerson still in a quarterback. And they go to Cole. Cole's got a first down. Joe Scott, the safety, on a stop. 1st and 10 at the 26. I'd like to remind you, Times River South football fans, that the football club at South is sponsoring a barn dance Saturday, November 7th at the Beechwood Firehouse on Beechwood Boulevard. If you'd like tickets, call 341-4851. 341-4851. Cole again, the ball carrier. And making the stop, Gearity, number 24. There's the scoreboard telling you the story. 40 seconds left to play in this ball game. So Pete Panuska will receive a plaque from Clear Cable Television for being named tonight player of the game for the Green Dragons. Cole, 3rd straight carry. Cole really running tough. These kids are hungry. He wants a chance to play, and he's making the most of it. He's all the way down inside the 10. "11 seconds, clock running. This should be it. Brick may not even get the play off. Ryerson taking his time. That's going to be it. That's the end of the ball game. Brick wins it 17-8. Let me tell you, the 4th quarter came your way by the New Jersey National Bank, along with Luigi's Deli and Blair's Rental Service. There you see Coach George Jeck, who has to be disappointed, but his team played tough. And there's Warren Wolf shaking the hand of his former assistant. We'll be back with the post-game show down on the field.